Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. This is Straight Facts Commentary where I give you my unpopular opinions in everything pop culture. So please stick around and subscribe for more.
And to the rest of you, the non-believers, the underachievers, the tweet and deleters, you guys make me sick to my stomachs, fam. Honestly, if you guys want to look in my eyes, you guys want to do something? You guys, that's what I thought. No, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Hey y'all, I am back again with another video. And in today's video, you see the title, we're going to be speaking about Meghan Trainor and just my thoughts on her and why I feel that she is a generic pop artist, okay? And we're going to go ahead and get into it. Before I do that, like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. I love you. And let's go ahead and get into this video. Now, let me just say this here and let me just say this now. Meghan Trainor has all the bops. Like, don't get it confused. This is not a Meghan hate video. This is not a Meghan Trainor hate video, okay? I like to talk about music and what I feel about music. And, Meghan Trainor is just a generic pop artist to me, but she has all the bops. She has All About That Bass, No, Dear Future Husband, Like I'm Gonna Lose You, Nice to Meet You. Like, she has the certified bops, okay? There's a lot of bops. There was a time where Meghan Trainor was all over the radio and you could not escape her. I love that time. She makes fun music. She makes energetic music. She makes carefree music. Meghan Trainor is still that girl now. Okay, she's still that girl. Is she the most in-depth, deep artist? No, but she is that girl. When Meghan came out, she was fun and different. Her doo-wop sound in a modern way that was just fun to listen to and ear catching was amazing. Love that she came out with the whole doo-wop thing. And she was one of the first mainstream artists to address body positivity in the way that she did that got so big, that got so huge, everybody was, tuned into it. The first person to really talk about how being curvy and being a thicker girl is amazing and how loving your body is okay and get into it. I think she was one of the first girls to really start that whole body positivity wave because she was one of the first people, like I said, that made it a mainstream thing to talk about because ain't nobody in the mainstream was really talking about that as a bigger girl. Okay, so Meghan is that blueprint bitch. But, all of that being said, what really happened to Meghan? Because, she kind of fell out of the spotlight in general. There wasn't a lot of people talking about her or her music that much. I think overall, music lovers just noticed that there is a lack of overall diversity and evolution with Meghan. I think that she's good at making a bop or two, but majority of her music is pretty surface level and doesn't get too in depth into anything, no nitty gritty topics, nothing that's really reaching to the depths of her soul type of stuff. And there was really no evolution that much with her sound for years. So, just to get into a little bit of what I mean regarding that, Megan's self titled album, Meghan Trainor, came out in 2015, and it was just a great album. It has a whole bunch of bops on it, like timeless Meghan Trainor bops, you know what I mean? And the album maintained that doo-wop sound that you would hear on All About That Bass, which was perfect because it was her debut album and it matched her single. And so people were expecting that album to sound a lot like her single, it matched the vibe. So it made sense. And she had a lot of bops on that album. So I think overall, a lot of people were satisfied with that. However, usually after the first album, fans feel like they want to see a little creative difference, growth, depth, advancement, however you want to put it, by the second project. And so, usually, I'd say for debut artists, it's not necessarily good to rush out your second project. You want to give it some time, let it marinate, let yourself, go into the next phase of your career, your next era, so to speak, and give the fans a little bit something different. Not to say, completely switched up and, she could still have paid tribute to the self-titled Meghan era, but while switching it up and kind of being a little bit different. Meghan's next album, called Thank You, that released in 2017, actually wasn't that bad of an album either. It was a little bit different. It strayed a little bit away from the doo-wop, but not too much. It was like doo-wop mixed with I'm a bad bitch empowerment, woman empowerment motivational album. but it still reminded me a lot of self-titled Meghan Trainor. Basically, it didn't stray too far away from her initial album, so it could have left the fans feeling a little bit bored and a little bit like, this sounds a little bit similar to the first album. That album had a lot of generic pop hits on it, and it didn't have enough records that were like vulnerable or touched on like other topics, in my opinion. I think because of Megan maintaining that kind of doo-wop sound on Thank You as well, it kind of put her into a box, in my opinion, to where a lot of people knew what to expect from her. And so she just kept doing it. And I think she should have broke out of that sound almost completely on her second album to show what else that she could do and kind of show her versatility in her sound, her creativity, her subject matter. Um, Being that an artist a lot of the time is about reinvention to keep the fans interested and invested. Because let's be real, Meghan Trainor always had the eyes on her. She always had people looking in to see what she was doing. Everybody was listening to Meghan Trainor at one point, so I don't think it was like lack of fans or lack of support or lack of interest at all. I think it was just simply not being diverse enough. In 2020, she ended up releasing an album called Treat Myself, which I will say had a lot more vulnerable records on it. And the sounds of the records, some of them were a lot different. Like they weren't with all of that doo woppy stuff. And she was getting into different things a lot more, but I feel like by then, a lot of people weren't invested in Meghan Trainor as like a pop star. Like all in all, people weren't checking for Meghan Trainor in 2020 like that. Since then, she's released a bunch of singles, a Christmas, I think, album or EP, and then most recently, a horrendous track with Jason Derulo called Hands on Me. Awful. Terribly generic. Like one of the worst songs I think I've ever heard in my life, to be honest with you. And then, of course, we can't forget like the track she released called Mother or I Am Your Mother or whatever it's called, with that Mr. Sandman sample. And that was super big all over TikTok. And I think it even hit the radio as well. And so that song is doing amazing and so good for her. But again, kind of a similar pattern in the way that it's terribly annoying and generic pop hit. Like a lot of the music that she puts out that either blows up or that she's put out in the past just lacks depth, lacks transparency, lacks creativity. It's either a huge like sampled record. You know what I'm saying? It's just we kind of know what Meghan Trainor is going to do. It's formulaic. We know what to expect. There's not really a lot of diversity there, and you know how fans are. Fans are big on eras. We're big on change. We're big on reinvention because as the years go on, we as people change every year, every 6 months. Nobody is the same in a passing year, in a passing 6 months. So with artists, we want the artists to evolve with us and evolve as well, and do different things. Staying the same for years and years and years and years and years just isn't a thing. But do you guys think that Meghan Trainor could ever come out of like the generic kind of pop formulaic mold? Or do you think people are gonna like tune in for Megan for that at this point? Or do we just know her for what we know her for and that's all that we care about? Let me know what you think about that. And I will see you guys in the next one. I love you. Bye.